thou? Hopefully everybody is having a fantastic day. I am. I just got finished working out and I feel good. I feel good. Um, okay, so yesterday I came on and I had talked about, getting through failures when you set a goal and you don't achieve it, you know, don't beat yourself up because struggle is part of growth. You need failure to grow. You need failures to happen to give you stepping stones to get closer to the goal. You don't just automatically say, I'm going to do this and just boom, it's done. You have to make steps along the way. And that's what today's midday motivation is about, making obtainable goals so that you can build your confidence along the way. Now, that's a lofty goal that I had originally set for myself, to just fast for 25 days. Even though I've done it in the past, we're talking about the moment right now. Who am I today? What am I thinking and doing? What is my skill set? What is my will, my discipline, my resolute now? Because we're not 5 years ago, we are now. So, um, you have to do things in baby steps. Jen and I always say, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, right? So I thought about it and I'm like, readjust your sails. Readjust when you set a goal that is too lofty, it kind of messes with your confidence when you don't hit it. Now, it doesn't do that to me because I'm kind of trained in that aspect of it, and which is why I said, okay, let's go to the next step. After failure happens, what's the next step? Okay, maybe adjust your goal. Okay. When you set a goal and you don't hit it, maybe that goal might be a little bit too lofty. Maybe you can hit that goal, but you have to do it in steps, right? So, okay. One of the things that I did was I weighed in the first day that I attempted the fasting, and I weighed in at 193. And even though I didn't do the fast that day ultimately, and I didn't do it yesterday, I said eventually I would do it. But I'm thinking, you know what? I may not have to do 25 whole days. And this is true for you. If you've got a goal you're trying to set, say you want to, I don't know, lose 50 pounds. You know what I'm saying? And I started equating it to pounds. So I said, okay, I weighed in at 193 and I wanted to reverse that. I want to be 139. That's a weight that I'm trying to get to. That's the goal. So I set the goal at 139. Now, am I just going to go ahead and starve myself until I get to 139? Of course not. Am I going to try to get to 139 in 30 days? Hell no. That ain't happening. Okay. So, but I do know one thing. I want to get to 139. So here's what we do. We break that up into smaller steps. If you have a goal that you're trying to achieve and it is a lofty goal, I want you to break that up into smaller steps. Shout out to Vegan Knowledge JJ. How are you, love? How about your fasting daily and salad at night? Right. That's one thing that Jen and I always talk about, and I am developing for people who are trying to heal themselves as well as lose weight from any afflictions that they have. It's called a fast and raw lifestyle. And I'm trying to do it for myself and get a regimen down that works. Now, that regimen is going to be something that works for me, but you may have to adjust it if it's something that you want to try for yourself. But for me, I want to do 22 and 2, which is 22-hour fasting window and a 2-hour feeding window. That is a pretty lofty goal. For me, it's easy because I've done it on a daily basis for a couple weeks at a time when I was trying to lose weight. And it's something that I'm used to. So first off, I became vegan. So that part didn't need to be done. And that could be a goal that some of you are trying to set. You know what I mean? I want to go full vegan, or I want to go full raw vegan. If you're already a vegan, I want to go raw, completely raw, or 95% raw. That may be a goal. I'm trying to get a raise at work, or I'm trying to lose 50 pounds, or I'm trying to, travel the world, one state at a time, whatever it is, you know what I mean? It could just be, I'm just trying to, um, meet somebody new, or it could be something small. I'm trying to curb my spending habits, or, whatever. So I want to move by next year. So, whatever your goal is that you're trying to set for yourself, I want to stop beating myself up. It could be a mental goal. I want to try to work my way out of this PTSD or this depression that I'm in. Remember, we did live streams on doing 30 days of subliminal healing to change your subconscious, get your subconscious to change your thought patterns so that you can change your feelings and change your actions. And that brings me to a good point. If you want to set a goal, try breaking it up in months. And then if it's something that can be achieved in a month, break that down by the week. And then obviously break the week down by the day, and by the day, break that down by the hour. So this 139 pounds will take me, we'll use me as an example. 139 pounds. So I'm giving myself, I think I can do that in 6 months. I think I can do it way before that, but why beat myself down? Why set a goal and try to make it totally unobtainable? There's this guy that had this plan that he did with his weight loss, where he set a goal that was so, I won't say ridiculously low, but it was something that pretty much it's extremely safe, and almost anybody, if they focus, can obtain it. 5-pound weight loss in a 2-week time period. 5 pounds in 2 weeks. I think 5 pounds a week is something that's obtainable, but it is kind of lofty. So 2 to 3 pounds a week. But this guy went something, he broke it down to the ridiculous. 5 pounds in a 2-week period. That's literally like a pound every 2-3 days. That's a goal that is extremely obtainable. Even if you're not somebody who's in the habit of counting calories or getting into the weight, if you're trying to lose weight, that's a very reasonable, safe, something that you have to starve yourself to do. You could just mildly curb your eating habits and lose 5 pounds every 2 weeks. But if you stay consistent, consistency is the key. If you stay consistent with it, then before you know it, that's 10 pounds a month. If you do that consistently over a 6-month period, you've lost 60 pounds. And that's the goal that I've set. So, one of the things that you want to do, okay, is make it resolute in your mind that to make a change, you're going to commit to being consistent, and you're just going to wrap your mind about around the fact that making change is one step at a time. Go not easy on yourself, but you want to build your confidence in this process. Okay, you don't want to be tearing yourself down because it's not obtainable or you're not hitting it. So break it down into smaller goals and break it down and look at it one step at a time. Try to come up with some type of plan to break your goal down so that you can make the change that you want to make one step at a time. And one way to do that is to set a date. Okay? Set a date that you want to achieve this goal by. That will help you break it down step by step. Make it a date that is reasonable for what you want to accomplish. Okay? So if I like the 139, I'm giving myself 6 months to do it. So today's date is the 28th. So if we go to the calendar and look 6 months from now, we're going to be at November 28th. We're going to be at December 28th, January, February, March. That would be April 28th. So I'm setting the goal right now and here on online on the air of April 28th being a weigh-in date where I'm going to weigh in at 139 or below or damn close to it. If I'm 140, I'm not going to be pissed at myself because I'm only 1 pound away. But 139 is the goal that we're going to set, and we're going to set that to be hit by April 28th. Okay. And here's the thing, there are going to be days where, or weeks where I'm not going to lose much, if anything at all. There are going to be huge weight losses, like water weight. Initially, I may drop 10, 15 pounds right off the top, you know? Um, I've also come up with a little cheat code. So instead of me fasting 25 days at a time. Jen's right. I want to ultimately get to doing the 22 and 2 and just make that my norm. Every day, I just want to be on one meal a day. It is sustainable for me because I've done it tons of times. But instead of fasting 25 days, I'm going to attempt to use, because I'm a faster. That's just who I am. I like fasting. I like the way it makes me feel. So I'm going to fast until I lose 10 pounds. And I weighed in today at 191. I'm going to fast until that says 181, however long that may be. Now, the cool thing about fasting, if you can get your body, wrap your mind around it, because trust and believe, your body loves doing it. It'll give you a break after a few days. You won't even be hungry. And if you start finding things to get into and occupy your mind, you won't even realize that you're doing it. Because think about it, it takes time to go prepare a meal and get it, eat, sit there. When you remove it from your life, it's just like if you quit smoking. Once that becomes a habit of no longer doing that, you don't think about it. Okay. So however long, that's one of the tricks to doing it and getting away with it. So however long it takes me, and fasting works fast. That's why they name it fasting. It works very fast. So however long it could only take me 2 or 3 days to do that. Initial water weight, I may drop 10 pounds right off the top. It may take me to that 2 weeks, but I'm going to do mine differently. I'm not going to do the 5 pounds every 2 weeks. I'm going to fast until I hit my goal. I've set smaller goals. I'm going 10 pounds at a time. That's how I'm going to achieve the 139. So I'm going to set my goal at 181, and I'm going to fast until I get there. And then once I hit that, then I'll start like maybe a refeeding process, maybe eat some avocados, some fat, because your body will be used to burning fat by then, and eat a small amount so that I can refeed without causing a stomach ache. And I'm probably going to add some weight on when I do that, and then work my way into salads. You know what I mean? So I'm probably going to add a few pounds. So I might overshoot that a little bit. I may go for 178, 177. And then once I refeed, it'll allow me to get back up to 181, but I'll still be at my 10-pound goal. And then I'll just go with that for a minute, for a couple weeks, and let my body get used to being that way. Because I noticed it took me forever to get under 200. And once I did, now I'm in the 190s. I haven't gone up over 195, but I'm down to 191, and it's gone to where it's 192, 195, 193, 191, 195, 191 again. So I've successfully gotten myself out of the twos, and I haven't gone over 195. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the 181, and then we're going to, or 178, 179, and then we'll get it back up to 181 with the refeeding. And then I'll just hang out there for a little bit. Then I'll go for another 10. You see what I'm saying? Because once your body adapts, it plateaus. So then, in order to break that, because you don't add weight when you fast, it's a cheat code. And then I'll lose another 10, and then I'll lose another 10. And I'm giving myself 6 months to get to 139. Hey, Jen.
Hey there. I
How
couldn't get
you doing?
off mute. Good, good. I was to say I love the way that all of these kind of tie in together, and
Yeah.
I love the advice you gave about doing it a little bit at a time and staying consistent because it is so difficult to set a whole, like a big goal. It just feels so unattainable sometimes that you
Yeah.
pretty much do it a little bit at a time to give yourself that grace to achieve the goal, because then you're able to achieve that goal, but your whole thing turns into a big goal that you actually achieve. Like
Yeah.
you said, if you do that each day and either, fast, or you eat a certain way, or even if it's I'm going to save $1, or I'm going to, you know, do this walk each day for this amount of time, or I'm going to take this amount of time, I'm going to change my one meal over to salad, or whatever it is that you're doing over time, that adds up. So I love that part about the consistency and the little goal, because
Yeah.
you're going to feel discouraged if you get up and say, oh, I only, I wanted to lose 20 pounds, but I lost only one. But if you
Right.
lose that 1 pound in 20 days, now you've lost 20, and you're feeling good each day. Like, all right, I did that. I made that. Now let's
Right.
go to the next one. So
And
I
it
love
builds
that.
your confidence. It keeps you in
Keeps you
a good
motivated.
zone. Right. That's exactly right. And you want to be motivated in this process because as you achieve the you ultimately want to win the war. And to win the war, you've got to win the little battles that lead up to the war. You know what I mean? And you're
Mhm.
not going to win every, you got to break it down into battles. You're not going to win every battle. Some weeks I'm not going to lose anything. You're not going to win every battle, but ultimately the war would be being at 139 by that date. So as long as I hold myself accountable, okay, and that is another slide, holding yourself accountable to hit the smaller goals. Because if you don't hit the smaller goals, you're never going to hit the bigger goal. The smaller goals are what's going to help you get there. I thought you were going to chime in.
Oh, I was, but I didn't know if you were still going. Hey, I just remember the other day when you were saying, how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time, and we've been trying to come up with something different, because I'm like, I don't want to talk about eating an elephant. Um, so
Not
like I was
literally.
thinking when you were talking about, like, if you set yourself a really big goal, like, you ever made a really big pot of spaghetti or chili, and you're sitting there and like you look at it
Many
and you're like,
times.
man, I'm never going to eat all this. But
Right.
the next, that night everybody has a bowl of chili, and the next night you might, or the next day you have it for lunch, and then maybe a little snack, and then you're like, well, we still have chili, let's have another little bowl. But then the next night you're like, I don't really feel like chili tonight, let's have something else, let's, order out. But then the next day it's like, oh, that's still good, let's have another little bowl. Next thing you know, that thing, it's like, can you believe there's only like one bowl of chili left, or who ate
Right.
all the chili? And the next it's just the same way with those little goals, like you said. And then the holding yourself accountable, like, no one holds their self more accountable than your own self, I
Yeah.
think, in a way. But we can self lie to ourselves. And what's that word you always use? I don't want to say, it's not lying, but it's like justification. We're
Yeah.
easier sometimes on ourselves, instead of somebody else can say, I thought you were going to do this. Well, I was, but I didn't have time, or,
Right.
I was too hungry to have, only that salad. So
Right.
because of this or that that's going on, I didn't do it. But that holding yourself accountable for each goal is so
It's like
important.
I know, like for me personally, I know it's not going to take me 25 days of fasting to lose 10 pounds. It may only take a couple of days. So, but I've set my sight, instead of this lofty goal of 25 days of fasting, I want to go on the one meal a day. So, but I want to lose weight and I want to consistently do it. So this is something that I'm trying for me to do that. So I've set a smaller goal. Instead of fasting for 25 days, I set a smaller goal. Just lose 10 pounds. Lose 10 pounds. Fast until you lose the 10, and then go on the one meal a day and stay consistent with the one meal a day. So the fasting is also going to help me achieve doing that, because that's going to be easy because I wasn't eating shit at all. So to do one meal a day is going to seem like a banquet. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So 2 or 3 days of fasting should get me 10 pounds. If it doesn't, then I just go another couple days. But it's not going to take me 25 days. I've changed the goal from 25 days of fasting to 10-pound weight loss, smaller bites to get to 139. I've set a goal instead of 25 days of fasting. I've set a goal to just go ahead because ultimately I'm trying to get my vision back. And I know weight loss is going to help the process in that. If I'm type 2 diabetic and didn't realize it, that's going to help. But again, I don't focus on sickness. I focus on being well. And I don't go to doctors. So far, I've been able to keep myself out of, hospitals and things like that, just by eating correctly and keeping my mind right. It all starts in the mind, you know?
Definitely. And it all starts with, like, you could even take it a step further, and like it actually starts with each minute, each moment. Like you said, with the power of now, you went over it last week.
Yeah.
The right now is the moment you're in, so all your nows will add up. If you're,
Start now.
if I just want to, fast for today, and I want to get through this next minute, whatever you're struggling with or whatever your goal is, you might be struggling with something that happens every minute. I mean, someone may
Right.
be struggling with something that they need to know, like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm just making the decision right now, the right decision right this minute.
Listen,
So
let's go even deeper with it, with like things like drug addiction, alcoholism. All right, I just got through an hour and I didn't have a drink.
yeah, I
I just
mean,
got through an hour and I didn't have a hit. You
we
know what
know
I
what
mean?
people we don't know what people are dealing with,
What
and
people are
so
struggling
that
with.
could be, even you might have to set your goals even in the less um like little motivational accomplishments or little
Yeah.
goals.
Because guess what? That day is going to happen regardless of whether you achieved your goal or not. Tomorrow is not promised to anyone, but for all intents and purposes for this discussion, we're going to say when tomorrow comes, what did you do? Did you achieve that smaller daily goal of not drinking for that day, or not drinking as much for that day, or not
Mhm.
smoking as much weed for that day, or not smoking a whole pack of cigarettes? I broke it down to, okay, I smoked 2/3 of a pack, and I'm
Mhm.
gonna do that for the next couple of days. And you and I have been smokers before, so we understand that whole breakdown and that whole quitting process. It was
Mhm.
so weird because my mom said, "You are so crazy. Why would you do that?" When I turned 30, I started smoking. I went out on a smoke break. And that's so funny how habits form like that. I took a puff off a friend of mine's cigarette, and then I did it again the next day. Then I'm like, you know what? Let me get a cigarette from you. After a couple of days of that, she's like, bitch, go buy a pack because you're smoking. You're not gonna sit here and keep borrowing cigarettes from me. You're getting something out of it. You're enjoying it. Go buy a pack of cigarettes. And I did. And I got up to a pack a day and I smoked for 6 years. And then I said, okay, after sitting in a cloud of smoke, I'm like, I got tired of it. I waited till
Yeah.
30 to start smoking. And then after 6 years, I'm like, you know what? I'm done with this. And
Mhm.
it took me, once I made up my mind,
Yeah.
I was done. I just quit cold turkey, and I never picked up a cigarette since. And I'm
I,
54 now, so it's been 20 years since I touched a cigarette.
that's amazing. I
Yeah.
know. I quit cold turkey too when I went vegan.
You did. Well,
Get
no,
it?
no, no.
Cold turkey.
Ah.
Oh.
She's fast, folks. She's fast. I can't keep
You're the
up.
faster, but I'm fast. Oh, so
I
no, but
remember
I
when you
quit.
quit.
Yes, I
We
got.
had just gotten together when she quit.
You said something about a week ago, or I forget which one of the motivational midday ones it was, but you said I get tired of hearing myself talk about something. And
Yep.
that's what was happening with smoking. I had smoked since, well, probably about 15 years, I'm going to say at that point, but I had quit off and on, and I would,
Hmm.
or I had talked about it when I wasn't quitting. So I'm like, it's not resonating well within me if I'm talking about quitting all the time. Why am I doing this? I'm the
Yeah.
one saying I want to quit. What's stopping me? And it's like at some point you get tired, and then you set that little goal. I'm just going to
Yeah.
not smoke for one day. That's what you do. I'm not going to smoke for lunch. I'm not going to smoke for dinner. I'm not going to smoke. I'm going to, make another choice. And then that's why I end up losing a lot of weight because I made the choice to eat, which a lot of people do instead of smoking.
Yeah.
But then it's
Yeah,
like,
I gained a
because
few pounds when I quit smoking too.
the biggest part, you said this earlier, was psychological stuff. Like when most people smoke, it's, oh, I had a meal, so I'm gonna smoke now. I just woke up, I'm gonna have a cigarette. I'm getting in the car, I'm gonna have a cigarette. I'm getting on the phone, I'm gonna have a cigarette. I'm having coffee, so I'm gonna have a cigarette. Like all
Oh, it's
those
all
things
mental.
are triggers that made you think about it. Or when I talk to this person, we go on a smoke break and have a cigarette. So it's like a lot of the stuff is emotional that when you're trying to make changes more than physical, you
what is
know?
what is my thing? I am a mind hacker. That's what I
Mhm,
do. That's what I love doing. This is all mental. I'm using weight loss. Weight loss is just going to be a byproduct of this thing. What I'm in effect doing is I am training my mind to be disciplined by doing this.
mhm,
Ultimately, the 139 pounds, that's going to be a side effect. Okay. The real goal is to keep my mind right, and training myself on fasting is going to do that, because
mhm,
it takes a lot of mental discipline to deny yourself anything, whether it be food, whether it be alcohol, whether it be drugs, whether it be sex. Okay, you've got sex addicts out there. Whether it be anything, in order to make that change, you got to sink your teeth into something. So I'm sinking my teeth into a couple of things at a time. This vision thing, the weight loss, taking care of that, the going vegan and eating proper and drinking the water. All of this is ultimately, hopefully, going to help my vision. But if it doesn't, so be it. At least I'll be one healthy, you know what, But this whole thing that I'm doing is training my mind to focus and be disciplined and
mhm.
achieve a goal. And when I'm done with this, oh, weight loss is just going to be a side effect. It's going to be a benefit that just happened to happen in the process. But now I can aim it at other things. I want
Yeah,
to I want to be disciplined enough so that I drop 3 videos a week without fail. I want to drop 5 TikToks a day without fail. Well, I'm going to have muscle memory, and my mind is going to go back to, remember when you wanted to get down to that 139? Remember the mental toughness that it took for you to fast to get to that point? You
mhm.
know, I need, my mind is going to be like, it's going to be on steroids at that point, because it has trained itself on the fasting. I picked fasting as my thing, but this is something that you can do to train your mind to not focus on the things that make you, not think about the things that make you fearful, not think about the eating this cake right now. If you take one thing at a time and train your mind will be so disciplined by the time you have achieved that goal, that the goal is just going to be a byproduct of it. But the benefits that you'll be able to carry out the rest of your life with having a strong mind that can accomplish any goal you want, because you've done it and you did it one step at a time, and each of those little victories built that muscle.
Because you're gonna
Then
give up if you don't do it one step at a time. I mean, I love the message in this
I've
one
done it
because when
recently,
things
just now with the
feel
fasting.
too lofty of a goal, it looks unattainable, you know? It
Mm-hmm.
definitely looks too far out in the, it's like, "Oh, yeah, I'll get to that one day," and it makes you put it off when you
Yep.
think it's
Yes, it does.
too much. Because when you don't know where to start or you don't know if you wanna do it. Yeah, I wanna write a book, but I how many years
She
have
means
I
that, by
said
the way.
that? I've
I know.
started it every now and then, but I've never been consistent with it. I probably could look in my email because I would email it to myself when I'd start it, and then I started it like maybe 3 other times. And the thing that I'm not doing though, in realizing when you're talking about this, is every day, if I just write a couple of paragraphs and then make sure that next day at around the same time I write a couple of paragraphs because I'm
Mm-hmm.
motivated to do it, after 2 months, I'll have a lot of paragraphs. But
Yeah.
see, writing a book sounds like, oh, a book has to be like such and such amount of pages, but it doesn't. It has to be whatever I want to say.
Dude, I've
Now,
already got the title for mine. Once my vision is restored, the title of my book is going to be Amazing Grace. Was blind, but now I see.
I
I've
love
got that picked out as a title. What am I doing right now?
manifesting it,
Yup.
acting as
I
if.
can see that book sitting on bookshelves. I can see that book being a bestseller. I can see
You
people
on
changing their
Kindle.
lives being inspired by my journey in that book.
You know what? I think people could already be inspired by your journey. I think you should start writing a book tomorrow.
Well, see, the whole thing is that's one of the
Your
reasons.
lessons are already
Look,
inspiring, and the
they're
things you've
already.
done, the little
Thank you.
accomplishments you've made. I mean, I said this before, but you inspire me every day. I mean, to the
Thank you.
effect of that you can't see properly, but you edit and take on videos, and you might have to do it differently. You might have to get closer. You might have to enlarge things. You might have to look over to the side of things. But the fact that you do that, that means you're not like the normal of all of us. You
Thank
are
you,
letting
honey. I
someone
appreciate that.
know who might say, "Oh, I can't do this or that." I mean, if I feel like I can't do something, I think about what you do instead of taking, "Oh, I can't do this, and this because I have this issue." You take it and are like, "Okay, what can I do?"
Yeah.
So that's what inspires me about you. That's why I'm glad that you're doing these videos and these shows so that people can get that what's in your head and we can use it in our day-to-day life because
Yeah.
you've dealt with so many challenges yet you've come out positive and wanting to help other people.
That's what it's all about because I got my eye on the prize, which is, dying gracefully. You know what I mean? I've so disciplined myself against the fear of death that I actually look forward to the day when I transform. But I want to do it in a way that I leave something that people can take that inspires and helps them in their lives. If I help one person, which I know I help you, so my goal has already been achieved. But if I help more, that's even more fantastic. You gotta we we're all here for 5 minutes, so you gotta have something that inspires you. That's how you get through your day. And I
You
appreciate
and
you saying
coffee.
that. But I do. I really appreciate you saying that because that means a lot to me. Because if I affect anybody in a positive way, then that's all I want to do. You know what I mean? And doing things like this, if I do achieve, when I achieve this, not if, because it's gonna happen. When I achieve this goal of gaining my vision back. Because the funny thing is, I was talking to a friend about a year ago, and they said, well, I've got the software that I can let you use, and it was like Adobe Premiere and Final Cut and all of that. And I'm like, yeah, that'd be cool, but I can't really see. I mean, I can probably enlarge my screen, but for me, instead of taking that challenge on, I chose to focus on just working from my phone with a select few apps that I've pretty much I took the apps that I use and I've mastered how to use them. Something that I did a smaller goal. Instead of using a big software platform like Adobe that's got all these tricks and stuff like that, because there's a ton of things that I would love to be that you can do in Adobe that I can't do with these apps. If I want to make my head melt, you know what I mean? I can't do that with these apps. I can do something that looks close to that, but it's not going to look as smooth as if I were to be able to use that software. Okay, so be it. But the things that I've been able to accomplish, he's like, you don't use Adobe? You're doing all of this stuff. Like the stuff we see you do, you just do that on your phone. And I'm like, yeah. It's like, you should do videos about how you do that. And I'm like, yeah, that's again, content creation. You know what I mean? It's all relative, but ultimately, it's I took something and I was like, wow, video editing. I love I'm really feeling that. I'm a musician, so it's almost like creating a song. in a way. When you create a video, it's got, instead of drums and horn and guitar and bass, you've got, scale in this picture, and oh, take the background out of that picture, and let's see what kind of music are we going to put with that. All of its steps. How are we going to transition from one scene to another? Are we going to jump cut? I've learned so much in doing this, but it wasn't because I was focused on, damn, I can't see. It was, how can I get it done? How can I edit? So, and it was smaller goals. Smaller goals gets the big goal done. And when people learn how to do that, and hopefully if there are some people that are listening to this that are dealing with any type of addiction, this has helped them, because break it down to the ridiculous. If you're in the healing process, like, you know um Ashley, right? Break it down one day at a time. Okay, today was a good day. I'm going to try some of the things she said with the fasting. She said that helps with cancer as well. I'm going to try to fast today and see if I can't get through this day and just drink a bunch of water and stay hydrated. And I'm going to try for myself to see if I can do that. Because, when you stop and think about it, if somebody is terminal, hell, at this point, anything is worth trying. Whether you have doctor supervision or not, the doctor's telling you got 6 months to live or 2 months, hey, you going anyway. So it's like, you might as well try something drastic. And if it turns out that, as long as you keep your mind right, if it turns out that, well, wait a minute, here it is 3 months in, she's still here and she's feeling good. And all of a sudden, hey, there's a decrease in size in those tumors. What are you doing? You know what I mean? So if it works, hey, so that's pretty much all I wanted to cover today, was set a date, pick something you want to achieve. And if it's a big goal, if it's a small goal, whatever, set a date and break it down one bite at a time, and
Mhm.
achieve the smaller goals first. And then next thing, you'll be looking in the mirror saying, damn, you did that shit. You
Yeah.
achieved that. You actually did it. You've been trying to do it for years, but because you broke it down, and because you kept achieving smaller goals and getting stronger mentally as you did it, you actually achieved that goal.
That feeling that you can get when you look and you've achieved something is like one of the best feelings. Whatever it is, like just
Yeah.
cleaning the house, like, or
Yeah.
I don't know what that one's like, but no, just kidding. Kind of though.
Break
I'm
it down by
serious.
room. That's why I'm the cleaner. She
But
cooks, I clean. It works. It's a good
or
match. It's a
cooking,
good
you know what I
match.
mean? When
She
you've
does
done
the
that,
cooking, I do the cleaning. You don't wash dishes, I take care of that. You did all the cooking, you make sure I ate, I got the cleanup part. And cleaning is therapeutic for me, dude. When you go room by room and you take a look after you're done and that room is
that's what I
spotless,
mean. Like you
feels
can come
good.
back on something like well, and making videos for you, I'll watch you go through that too. And now that I've kind of gotten into making some for the vegan channel and for work,
Yeah.
I understand that too because it takes so much. I don't think people realize what like the videos you put together take. Like you do maybe a minute and a half
Editors
video,
know. There's some editor that may
and
be out
I
listening.
could
It
not
takes
even
sometimes it can take five
imagine.
days
No wonder
to
a
edit one
movie
video.
takes, like, years sometimes to make,
Yeah.
because I can imagine a two-minute video could take her potentially the entire day because of having to edit and add stuff in and make sure the
Yep.
sound overlays properly with the pictures,
And then me
finding the
twice as
pictures.
long. Then me
Yeah.
twice as long, because I'm like, shit,
She's
what is that?
faster than me, that's what I mean about the inspiring thing. But, like, it when you finally watch that video, it's like, "Oh, yes, I accomplished that, I did that." Now, like, weight loss, you can do that before and after picture, and it's like, I know I use that picture all the time because I look at that other one on the left, and I'm like, "What in the world? That was me?" Like, and it wasn't that I thought I looked like I didn't think there was anything wrong with the way I looked because I didn't do it for weight
You're
loss.
beautiful.
I thought I was skinny as heck looking in that mirror on those previous pictures, and then
You
I was
know
like,
what?
"Wait,
It's like, oh man, what, I just lost my thought.
I do that a lot. I need blueberries. Blueberries help our thoughts."
Blueberries help with cognitive abilities, guys. Cheat code.
And it's like
Um,
that one oh, go ahead. You thought of
oh,
it.
I just thought about it. Ro and I was talking about that with TikTok. She said she broke it down and said, you want to make 3 to 5 TikToks a day. You know what I'm saying? And we broke it down. And one of the things that we talked about was the fact that TikTok is a series of smaller videos. You don't make hour-long TikToks. You don't make 10-minute long TikToks. As long as you can make is a 3-minute TikTok. Okay, that makes make video editing a lot easier. If I don't feel obligated to make a 5 or 10 minute video for YouTube, I know I can get just as much accomplished, or say just be just as effective with what I'm saying in 3 minutes. And TikTok holds you to that. It's a lot easier to do smaller 3-minute videos. I'm putting more on TikTok than I ever put on YouTube.
Yeah.
So, you know what I
And
mean? And then if I want to convert it over and try to make it, fit the YouTube format, then that's different. But it's already on TikTok. It's out there. And that's a huge platform as well. And my subscribers now subsequently are growing there because of that.
because of the consistency, because it's
Yep.
easier than saying, oh, I need to put out an hour long show, or I need to put out a 20-minute video, or I need to put this out. Doing something every day, or if you can do it even 3 times a day, the more people that especially if you're starting a business, that consistency is so important too, that it'll all add up, because people need to get used to seeing your
This goal
information.
right
They need
here.
to see that. Yeah.
This goal right here. I started with
Look,
one,
I
then I had
remember
10,
when
then it
she
was.
had 1, and was it me?
And it was you.
I'm still waiting for that prize for being the first subscriber when you get to 1,000. I think I should get one. I don't know if it was me, but I think I was close to one of the first ones. I think you mentioned that
Yeah.
once. I didn't even know I was. But I wanted to say congratulations. I saw to a lady that used to work on the campaign I did at my work, Tam. She said that she's down 50 pounds um, as of yesterday. So I don't know. I always
All
post
right.
these
Good job, Tam.
on the vegan knowledge group. I post your motivational videos because I think it all ties in. So she's on that group. So if you're listening, congratulations, way to go. And she did that, I'm sure, not all at once. You know,
Yes. Well, it
she
would be literally impossible. It'd be
right.
something wrong,
Well, she needs to
right?
figure that out. She might need to start a business then to let us know how to do that, right? Like,
Yeah.
how do you lose 50 pounds in 5 minutes? I bet that video would get a lot of views.
That would go viral.
Right. And then someone would be like, you can't.
But
TikTok.
it was clickbait, right? Clickbait
I
got you to
can't
click it.
stand those,
Did you
right?
really think I lost 50 pounds in 5 minutes? You clicked on it though, dummy, right?
But
No.
consistency, accountability, consistency, and small, accomplish small goals. I'm telling
Yeah.
you, that is such a powerful message you were putting on here, and I've used it before, but you
Hmm.
forget. Like, that's why I love
Yeah.
you telling us about this stuff, because you forget. You think, oh, it worked for that, but you don't equate it or make the analogy or
With
the
new things.
strategize on other things with it until you
Set
get like
new
a
goals.
video, and it's like, "Oh, wait, I could use it for that."
Yeah.
Why am I thinking that that's so like far in the future, or I keep putting it off? I think we put off goals because they're too
They're
big.
lofty. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that word, lofty. But yeah, that's all I wanted to come on and say, and also to say that as usual, I'm just very proud of you. Thank
Thank you,
you.
baby. I love you so
Thank you
much.
for
Thank you
saving the
so.
world.
Yeah. Okay. One person at a time.
Right?
But thank you. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream there. Hopefully, we helped some of you out there that have a goal that you're trying to hit for yourself. And, if this helps you, great. Leave me a comment in the comment section. Let me know if there's something that you're trying to achieve. And yeah, no, I'm not selling any type of, coaching or anything like that. I just want to know that you're doing well. So leave me a comment and, I will respond to that. And thank you guys for joining me. Thank you, Vegan Knowledge, for coming on here and being a blessing as always. I love you so much.
Thank you for having me. And don't forget to join us Mondays and Tuesdays. And you also have next week, I think Thursday too, for
Meatless
your
Monday. We are
Meatless
going to be
Monday,
joining you
Takeover
on your
Tuesday,
channel.
and every day here at noon, right? I love the
Midday Motivator.
Eastern. I love
Midday
these midday
Motivated.
motivators. I love that you do them each day too, because I look forward to them.
Oh, thank you. All right. Well, with that being said, peace and blessings.